Hi, my name is Christopher Lefoltz, and this is the Development Department Key Review pre-video. Just FYI, this video is going to be done in one take, so you may hear banging in the background due to some construction going on in my house, and I may stutter a bit, so I'm warning you ahead of time if you watch this video. So as always, we'll start with our KPI review. To start with on KPIs, we have made significant progress in infra-dev issues in the last quarter. In particular, we've seen our numbers drop from in the mid-30s of past due infra-dev items to below 10. That happened in the past week, so we're pretty encouraged by that result. Our original goal for Q3 was to get below 5. We didn't hit that goal, but we're trending towards resolving that here in the next few weeks. So because of that, we're now focusing on past due security issues. As you can see, we have a large number of them. Our goal is to attempt to get below 50 this quarter. That is an aspirational goal. We don't know exactly how we might do it based on current staffing, but that is where we would like to see for that. And we've had limited progress to date, but we'll continue to work on that. LCP continues to be strong related to us being below our threshold, as does sales renewal, customer satisfaction, and then review time. We stayed below our target, except for one minor blip for open period during the last quarter. So that's encouraging as well. Let's see here. Retention, we're still running solid, so we're pretty happy there. Our average age of open positions has been pretty consistent the last 3 months. This is a little bit confusing. What's happening is because of the growth in hiring, we've actually expanded the number of open positions, and that's kept our average age down during this period. So this is one thing that we should see is as ramping starts picking up, we actually may see this rise because of some deltas between those, depending on which positions we're actually filling the fastest from a pipeline perspective. So I'm a little concerned about this metric one being above the 50-day threshold, as well as kind of where it goes. Our goal is to try to get caught up in the next 3 to 6 months. I think we'll be on our way in 3 months, but with the holidays, I'm really not expecting us to be fully caught up until a 6-month period around that. MR rate for the 3rd month in a row has declined. This is in part due to elevated vacation times during this time compared to last year when we were in lockdown, and as well as us working on reliability and security issues. In particular, some of these issues you typically fix in 1 or 2 MRs. So it's definitely been the case, and they take longer generally to reproduce, as well as watching future flags go in. One thing that I am considering is doing a manager by manager evaluation to kind of confirm parts of that statement to make sure that we're seeing that, as well as to dig in to see if there's any inefficiencies that we need to address as an organization. So that's something that we're thinking about doing here in the coming weeks. Handbook MR rate, we have seen a pretty steady increase the past several months. We're below our peak periods for the year. So that's something else that we'll continue to look at, though. It's encouraging to see us continue to be steadily increasing there. Discretionary bonus is one that I'd like to call out. We're behind on our discretionary bonus for the 4th month in a row. This is something that I'll be talking to the team about to potentially consider. Have we just not been recognizing people as much? And then, as I mentioned, PTO has been more elevated year over year for the months of August and September. October was similar to last year's, though a little bit higher. And then November, it's showing below what we had last year, but I don't think we have everybody's PTO in at this point in the month. So I'm not too surprised that it's at that point. CI runners, I'm going to call out as well. You can't see it here in this presentation because it's over in Grafana, but we've improved compared to the first half of the year there if you go and look at that chart. So I encourage everybody to consider going and looking at that. And then last one I want to cover is OpenMRSH, which we've been above the threshold pretty consistently here for some time now. This is one that we are discussing putting in a more formal MRH process so that we retire old MRs, because that seems to be is that we have a very long tail here associated with that. I did do some work back in the late September, early October timeframe, and that's why you see this dip here associated with it, kind of as an experiment. I think we'd have to be more formal about that process when we're considering doing something there based on that. That's it as far as performance indicators. The other thing that we oftentimes talk about is our OKR, so I'll quickly review those as well. For Q3, our highlights are is that we didn't do as well on our ARR objective. This is primarily due to our fulfillment cloud licensing goals. We set it as aspirational, and we didn't necessarily have buy-in from all departments. It's encouraging to see the top 11 list at the e-group level, because I think this is an example where we just didn't have necessarily proper alignment to hit this OKR. So I'm encouraged to see that. Similarly, on workspaces, we had competing priorities based on our reliability and security initiatives, and we didn't want to necessarily stop this project altogether, which we didn't. We still made it about 50% of the way, but we didn't hit our typical 70–80% goal associated with it. Reliability, we were pretty strong there at 80%, so we're pretty happy with that result. And then team objectives were at 83 or 0.83 or 83%. So we're pretty happy with that result as well. For next quarter, we have team objectives. One is to meet our hiring plan. We have 58 open recs, so that's definitely an aspirational goal to try to hit that. We're also taking 3 trainings this quarter. 2 of those are, one of them is listed here, which is the psychological safety training. We're attempting to get to 50% voluntary participation, and then we're also working on UX empathy. Well, I should say customer empathy that's being done through support from product management, support infrastructure UX in that. And then we're going to continue to focus on security and reliability, getting down our InfraDev issues and security issues. We're also going to improve SUS with UX and partnerships. We're looking at migrating of additional components. We committed to largely completing that this quarter, so we're excited about that. And then the third one is reliability training, which we developed in Q3. We'd like to get to 100% associated with that training. And then last but not least, as far as our AR objectives, we have cloud licensing again on this list, so we're hoping that that helps improve our focus based on the last miss. We're going to continue to work on workspaces, and then we're going to focus on FIPS compliance, which is part of our overall FedRAMP objectives. That's a quick overview of both OKRs as well as performance indicators, and I welcome questions as we go into the key review. Thank you, everybody.